Should you run for president,
Yeah.
should you have a chance to lead your country again, what would you do differently that you didn't do the first time around? What would you do differently next time?
What I'll do differently, the economy is situated in an environment. It does not exist in isolation. And so there are some things that need to be done to create an environment for the economy to thrive. And some of them are governance issues, strengthening state-owned institutions, the fight against corruption, you know, and so many other things that create the environment for the economy to thrive. I think that if we go into this program and we bring debts back to sustainable levels and we're able to get the bridging facility in order to achieve policy credibility so that investors again feel confident that they can bring their money into Ghana, then we must start from there and maintain that prudence. This should be the last time we go to the IMF. I mean, because going and coming and going and coming, I mean, it's really, it creates a certain instability in the whole system, and it also reduces the faith that people have in our democracy. One of the things that we'll do is to, like I said, strengthen state institutions, strengthen the anti-corruption institutions, but most importantly, look at the Constitution again. We've been operating this Constitution for more than 26 years. And I think that the time has come for us to look at it again and do some tweaking in order that we can have a more a proper constitutional environment in which to grow the economy. And so those are some of the things that we would look at. In 4 years, we have a 4-year term like they have in America, not like in other countries where they have 5 terms. And so there's very little you can do in terms of infrastructure. We'll do our best, invest in the health sector, invest in education, invest in the economic infrastructure. But all this must be geared towards creating opportunities for especially young people to be able to realize their full potential, be able to find jobs in the economy. I think that that's what we'll be looking at.
Mr. Mahama, you have been in politics a long time, and there have now been 2 election cycles in 2012 and 2016 where the current president, Mr. Akufo-Addo, and you have both respectively challenged the election results. What can you say that you and your National Democratic Congress have done over the years to ensure that, you know, the country has a free and fair electoral system to the extent that it instills confidence in people like you and others running for office, that the results are the results and that you believe the results?
Yeah, one of the first things you need is an independent and neutral Electoral Commission. And I believe that with the change that took place in the leadership of the Commission, we don't feel confident that the Commission is sufficiently independent and neutral because of certain things that have happened. My party has withdrawn from the Inter-Party Advisory Committee because this current Electoral Commission said that body is only advisory and they don't need to take the advice of that body. And before, we used to reach consensus in the Inter-Party Advisory Committee. We took decisions by consensus. Now what they've done is resurrect so many small parties, and then as soon as anything comes for discussion, they quickly say, let's vote. And then they have all these parties on the side of the Commission and the ruling party, and they vote by majority and say, look, the decision is taken. And so we saw that we're wasting our time in the IPAC. And so we withdrew. There have been discussions to try and bring us back. But you'll be surprised that it is the Electoral Commission that is reluctant to accept those moves to let NDC come back. The Peace Council has invited them for the last 8 months. The Electoral Commission can't find time to sit with the Peace Council and after that have a joint meeting between the 2 biggest parties so that we can go back to IPAC. They are not interested. And in the last election, a lot of things went wrong. On the pink sheets that we record the results, they did not make allowance for the number of people biometrically registered. And that's why when they were saying, we went to court and they said, why don't you bring your pink sheets? It would have been useless because you bring the pink sheets and there's no recording of the number of people verified. It's only when you have that recording, it must match up with the number of ballots in the box. And so if the Electoral Commission gives you a form that does not make provision for people verified, then what is the need for us putting our fingers on that verification machine. So a lot of things went wrong. We've done our postmortems. We realized that we have to go into the ring with our own referee.
What does that mean?
It means we must take advantage of, the systems that are given for political parties to police the poll. And so it means that we must be extra vigilant at the polling station level, at the collation level, and the final tally level. And so we're going to be much more vigilant than we were in the past. You expect that the commission is neutral, and so there are some things you take for granted. But this time, we're not taking anything for granted. I use that metaphor because of one of our boxing legends, Azuma Nelson. He had a fight with a guy called Jack Fenech, and he lost because he thought the judges were unfair. And so when they asked him, they said, what is it you're going to do different when you go into the ring? He says, I'm taking my own referee along. And they asked him, which referee? He said, my fist. I'm going to once I knock him down, nobody is going to come and give a judgment, that he won the fight. Yeah.